There's going to be sawdust from when they built the coach. It's going to find its way in here. You know, fan's going to suck it in. It might be laying on the floor here. Sucks that in, blows it onto the burner. You know, it's not going to ignite, but it is going to burn. It's going to smoke a little bit. If you've been on a PDI with us, we usually set off the smoke alarms every time. You know, it's a way of checking them, but it'll get real smoky in the coach for a little bit. About 3 or 4 times after they use it, it should clear up. Usually we try to run them in a PDI until it clears out, but like I said, so occasionally, you know, if there's sawdust buildup in a corner inside the compartment where this is, and you know, the customer takes it, they drive it down the road, that sawdust gets moved around. When they light the furnace, it's going to suck it in, and they're going to actually, you know, they may get some burning, you know, smell and whatnot. So.
Will you get some of that if you're firing the furnace for the first time this year?
Not so much unless they've got something got in there and actually, say a mouse got in there and built a nest or something like that. You're not, this oil, once we burn that off for the first time, that's usually gone. You don't have that issue anymore.
But you may have some sediment stuff build up over there over the winter or whatever, so the first time you fire it might
And that's why we talked about the bees. As the burning smell you're going to get, they're going to get in here and when you light it up, obviously it burns the nest out of there and it really smells. Like it.
So if you've got LP and 12 volt and you have nothing, it's probably the thermostat or the board.
Could be anything.
It could be any.
Yeah.
Should we be telling the customers that we can test the boards? Because we can.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We just would bring it, it's easy enough to bring a board down and test it. If they have nothing, would that be a step to go first, or?
We actually have a tester right here to test the board, so if
Right.
you wanted to bring one down, they could do that.
I mean, that's, I mean, if they can bring the board down, some of these are real difficult to get to. The Atwoods, this is fairly simple. There's just a little wing nut. They can pull the board right out and bring it down. But, like Mark said, say the furnace doesn't light and the customer thinks, okay, well, I'll just bring this board down. He reaches in here and starts pulling stuff apart and he forgot to shut the thermostat off.
So
When
we should
this
probably
thing
not
tries
be
to
telling
light,
them then.
it's going to light him up.
Okay.
So it's better, you know, I would say, you know, don't even let the customer even try to diagnose into parts that depth. You know, the 2 biggest things, electric and gas. If they got that, then, you know, it's most likely they got to bring it to us and have us check. You know, ask them how many times they've tried to turn it on, how many times have you cycled it to try to get it to light. If they say 20 times, say, okay, you got to bring it in. You know, we'll go from there.
The other thing too is earlier when we short cycle, when we tried like this and didn't light, because we didn't have propane on, now it shut itself off. They will never do anything again until they turn it back off. This has to be turned off and restarted. That's something you guys should tell them on the phone. You know, like if they say, well, let's try it 3 times and they won't do anything, they still won't do anything, we still got it on. They actually have to shut the thermostat down completely, turn it off. This has that off switch on. There's several different thermostats, but every one has got an off switch on someplace. Turn it off, then tell them to try it back 1 more time if they want to.
A lot of the bigger coaches, like the Class A's and stuff, the Diagnostics have it's like a electronic thermostat. So actually make sure that they're, you know, completely shutting it off. If they just go out of zone or out of mode, that's not completely shutting it off. They have to turn the thermostat off and then turn it back on.
And that happens quite commonly after they fill their propane and it's got to bleed out the system.
Yep. They try to light it. It tries to light 3 times. If the gas doesn't get to it, it's going to shut itself down. So, yep.
Any other questions you guys are running into on the phone?
Then you probably get a lot of calls. Well, what's wrong with my furnace?
You guys didn't bring one of those automated thermostats up, did you?
No.
I want someone to show me how to change that setting. We get calls all the time with the AC fans coming on with the furnace.
Oh.
And I still haven't gotten the actual myself knowing how to explain that to the customer, and that's...
You got one in your coat, you got one in that cycle, right?
Yeah.
Later on, just stop out, he's got the cycle in there, he's got that thermostat.
that's something that I think we should all know up front, because we're all having to
You
call.
wanna touch on it real quick, just off the top of your head?
Yeah, basically what it is the customer will light his furnace, and as soon as he turns his furnace on, air conditioner fan comes on. And what that is, there's a setting, it's the up and down arrows, or you push the mode to come to fan, and when you push the up and down arrow, it'll say high, low, or auto. If it's on high or low, anytime you're in any mode, the fan's gonna run on the air conditioner. What you have to do is actually switch that to auto. And once it's on automatic, then that will go off and the furnace will run on its own, and the AC will run and the fan itself. Once I can show you, it'll be, real simple to show you. It's a little easier.
And that's pretty much what the new ones we see was a thermostat we're talking about. It says right in your owner's manual that has to be on automatic, if they read that. And it tells them how to set that to automatic. What we try to do in our walkthroughs, we also try to tell them the same thing, to make sure that's on automatic.
All right, so just a couple of things I wanted to cover. Diagnostic fee for a furnace is around $80, $90. So that's something that you should know when you're getting into these questions for the customer, and you're advising that they bring it in. Obviously, that's going to be their next question. Service contracts, any of these components, the gas valve, circuit board, thermostat, these are all going to be covered. As long as they've failed due to a mechanical failure, they're going to be covered by a service contract. So again, another reason to recommend service contracts, so on and so forth, because it will provide insurance against these things. What about the maintenance special, guys? We have a furnace maintenance special that we offer to our customers. When they purchase that, what are you checking, or what are you doing with the furnace?
As far as you talked about the yearly cleaning, okay, and a yearly cleaning, we'll take this thing totally apart, and we'll actually take what covers off this, make sure there's nothing here, clean this fan inside here. We're actually gonna pull the gas valve and the burner right out of here and make sure that's good and clean. We'll take, where's that? Right here. We'll take these igniters and make sure they're good and clean, because a lot of times what happens is these get corrosion on them. Again, that could be one reason it's not working, but we'll clean these out real bit. Orifice, we don't usually mount it, because you're not supposed to mount to the orifice, you're not supposed to fan it, some people have tried that before, and that changes the volume of the flow, and then we have more issues than that, so we don't really want to do that. We'll take them apart and blow them out there, but we won't take anything and actually clean them out. But the whole furnace will actually be taken apart and cleaned thoroughly before we then put it back together to test it.
And that's something the owner's manual of the furnace is going to recommend be done how often?
I would say yearly. And best, for the service department to do is make up, tell the customer, you have to get, New York customers anyway, you have to get a New York State inspection every year anyway. Bring it to us, we'll do your New York State inspection, we'll do your furnace special, we'll check the hot water heater and the refrigerator all in one. That's something that we could think about too.
Okay.
There is a
So that's a special that is on your service menus that we offer customers that I believe is $71.
You can individualize them for furnace, hot water, refrigerator, or you can do the whole package, and I believe the whole package is $3.99. The one thing that you might want to mention to your customers is that also comes with an LP check. That makes sure that there's no leaks in the LP line. Every time they break, like when they take the gas valve out, every time they rupture anything in to do with the LP system, they do an LP systems check on it, so that the customer can leave with confidence knowing they have no LP leaks. So you can either individualize each one, like with the furnace, which I believe is like $71 or $78, or they can do the whole package. But just any one of them comes with an LP check.
And that's one thing why we don't want the customers to go through the LP. If you took this right loose and you didn't get it back on tight, you're going to have a leak. And you're going to have LP buildup. And this builds up here, if it builds up in this furnace, you could have a rather large explosion before this would even get to the LP detector and set the LP detector off. That's why we don't recommend it to any customers as far as breaking lines. When we do them, we test them. we do the LP drop test, and we also spray these with a soap solution to make sure they're not leaking when we put them back together.
Also, to touch on what Jeff said, going down the road, you can tell the customer if you're, pushing that service, is, going down the road, these things are moving, they're shaking, the connections could come loose, or work their way loose, Also, every time they fill their propane, well, this one don't have it. Some of them have a rubber O-ring in here. Over time, 1,000 times that they do that, that O-ring's gonna start getting chewed up or whatever. Also could get dirt in here. And if they have that problem, then they got an LP leak out by their tanks, and that could cause problems if somebody's out there smoking or something. But, I mean, by doing the LP check, we'd find that stuff, if there was a problem.
Questions? No more questions?
When's lunch?
All righty, thank you guys.
Yep.